People, as we know, are dying, and it's bigger than opioids. It's fentanyl, it's crystal meth is back very big, it's alcohol, it's all kinds of substances that are so harmful to people, and people feel trapped with no way to get free.
And this not only affects the individual that's passed away, but it affects the family, it affects the loved ones, it affects the community as a whole.
I think there are larger issues too. I mean, it's not just random that people are escaping reality. I think we need to take a look at that reality as well.
I'm in recovery myself, and I know when I was looking to get help, there just wasn't a lot around for me.
There's so much isolation, and when you get into rural Maine, especially off-season, there's a lot of isolation with everybody, but dangerous for people that suffer from addiction.
Now, more than ever, everybody's affected by some kind of substance use disorder. That's why everyone's coming together, because everyone's finally recognizing that it's a big issue.
The state funded 7 new centers, with PRCC serving as a model here in Maine for recovery community centers, and to help begin to build that same kind of access to recovering communities and create recovery-ready communities in more rural areas, in particular in places where people have not had ready access to work on their own pathways of recovery.
The model is grassroots. And so it is for people in recovery, by people in recovery, and it is based on local energy and local resources.
It's really a collaborative effort, just trying to understand each other's needs, share ideas, and talk about issues that come up, because we can all benefit from that.
The best thing is you see a community come together, the whole community. Some of us was in addiction, some of us were just addictive others, and all of us working together for one single cause, just even if it's help one person.
There was a lot of energy before the idea or the funding came along to start a center. So this is just a place to put that energy. So it's not a challenge to tap into that. It's an outlet.
Our center is about the community.
Community is critical because addiction itself is so isolating, but to connect with others who have walked the path, a path, is not only a resource, it's, I would argue, the very most important resource.
I use my time being a volunteer because for me, in recovery, that's what worked for me. I needed to have someone help me navigate through my life. It was the most effective thing that I had received. It was a gift.
I am a person in long-term recovery. Therefore, there's been many people that have helped me along the way in my journey to get where I am today. And I really believe that giving that back and trying to instill a sense of hope within people so they can start to find their way is very important.
Clearly, we'll never walk the exact same path as somebody, but there is some of that shared experience, and it's important for me to communicate with people on that peer-to-peer level.
Seeing that, being in recovery, is what brings joy to me. I find myself having a purpose, and that purpose makes me think about, I wouldn't even imagine myself going back out into the world and to drug use, because if I did that, I wouldn't be able to help these people who are going through the things they're going through. And because of that purpose, it's given me a purpose to stay away from drugs.
Somebody walking through the door for the first time, they may not already be in recovery, right? But they're interested. So you really have to be open to whoever walks through that door is going to be wherever they're at, right? We don't push people anywhere. We really provide resources for them because there are so many different pathways in recovery.
PRCC, the centers, the recovery, the coach model that we're working on, the hub, accept all pathways to recovery. And that really means all pathways. And so there's not a discussion about Is medication-assisted treatment better than abstinence? Is abstinence better than some other form of recovery support?
I think it's really important there are multiple pathways because not only are individuals different, but they're coming in at different points in their life. If there's only 3 options and that's all we know and that's what we're imposing on people and people aren't quite ready for those options, they're going to leave and just keep doing what they're doing.
Whatever path it is to you to get to sobriety is that path, and we try to encourage that because each person is meant in a different place.
We have many pathways, there's no judgment, there's no one way, right way to have recovery, to be in recovery.
We want to make it whatever they need. It's not about us, it's about them, and it's not our center per se, it's the community center, and so we want to be really welcoming to that fact.
Obviously, meetings, AA, NA, we have Strength and Serenity. We have a numerous amount of meetings. We also do things like spa day and wellness things for people.
We have a room for just like a TV room for chilling out and, you know, computers so people can go online, look for jobs, do a resume if they need it.
We just did a movie party over Julia Roberts' new movie, Ben is Back. We do holiday activities.
It's all of the activities that happen out in, I don't want to say the regular world, but out in society, but that are happening in a supportive environment with others that have been through what you've been through, or at least really understand and are supportive of you getting through without using.
Coming into recovery, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go. I had just put the substance down and I was lost. I didn't have a place to go. I didn't have a person to talk to. A recovery coach would have been extremely beneficial to me at that point. Developing a wellness plan, looking at what some of my goals are, talking about employment, talking about housing, talking about my connection to the recovery community.
The recovery coach model that we're using is evidence-based, and what that means is there's research behind it. If you do it the way you're supposed to do it, it will help a person in recovery get well, be well, and meet goals that that person wants to meet.
Each day you're covering different material and training coaches to go out and practice that material and help find their way and their method in coaching, although there is a standard.
With the commitment of resources, these new centers, people trained to be recovery coaches, we're exponentially going to be able to help hundreds, thousands of people.
Being part of the effort to find a solution, it's a wonderful feeling. We feel as that we're starting on the ground level, but we're working towards something. We're working towards a meaningful goal to help a community heal as a whole.
The energy in the recovery community right now here in Maine is not like anything I've ever seen, because we can do so much with just a little, and we have some resources, and we are out there, and we have trained trainers, and they're going to train coaches, and lives are going to be saved.